Hello guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with more 40k goodness and another video based on the amazing new Tau release, which gave us a whole host of Kroot, finally, to add into our armies. So I have very kindly been sent all of the Kroot range from Games Workshop, and I've been slowly but surely churning through videos for you guys, so you guys know how to paint up your Kroot when you get your hands on them, which should be as of now, I think. So I have done obviously the lone spear, and obviously I've done one of the Rampagers. I've got some Kroot guys, some basic guys done as well. And I thought one of the videos that we need to do is to very quickly show you guys how to paint Kroot Hounds, because these are only kind of 40 points for 5 or 80 points for 10 of these guys. So they are a very low points cost, which means you can potentially have quite a lot of them in your army, and you're going to want a very quick way of painting them, and that's what I'm going to give you here today. So hopefully you're excited for that. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my active patrons. Without you guys, I could not continue doing what I am doing. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If you're interested in getting involved with that, supporting the channel and helping me grow, there's links in the description below. You get access to a private Discord server and access to a vlog style video every single day for me, keeping you guys up to date with what's going on behind the scenes on the channel. And in that, you can also dictate and sway and change my ideas and pick videos for me to make and stuff like that. So the guys have been having a lot of fun doing that. Like I said, if that's something that excites you, description below. Okay, without further ado, let's paint Kroot's best boys. Okay, so this is the beautiful new 5-man strong Kroot Hound box set. Really nice and simple sculpts. Each and every single one of the Kroot Hounds was 4 pieces, so I got to build this box in about 10 minutes. I sprayed them black and then sprayed them grey sear so they would take contrast really well. And even though I just said that, I'm going to be using shade, because I find Kroot Green Shade to be the perfect base coat for Kroot skin. I've painted up a bunch of Kroot like this already, and I really like the end result. So follow along if you're skeptical, see what it's like, and see if it is the scheme for you. But as you can see, the contrast, or the base coat, takes the Kroot Green Shade really well and gives us this really nice, like, pallid green color. Something that I think will definitely, blend into a jungle board or whatever and be really cool. Every time I've painted or touched Kroot on this channel, I always tell you the same thing, that I really want to do like a mini 3-game campaign style thing that just tells the story of, a Catachan jungle patrol force moving through the jungles and engaging with Kroot, and play 3 awesome games, like a heavy, dense jungle, tree-laden board, and just have an awesome time. Like, if I take an entire Kroot army, it's probably not going to do very well against things like the Leagues of Votann. But I think if we pay an infantry-heavy Catachan army and it's a real theme thing, I think it'd be pretty awesome. Okay, after the Kroot Green has been applied, we're going to jump over to Black Templar. And all I'm going to use this for is they basically just armored, like, kind of leather gauntlets on their front paws. This is obviously to protect them as they're running through the wild, so not getting them, caught on thorns or brambles or twisting their ankles on stones or anything like that. Same kind of things that horses wear to try and protect them while they're out on the old canter. This is a very, very quick step, so don't worry about that. In fact, the whole thing is very quick. There is no, well, there's one section which can take a little bit of time, but not a lot. Kroot Hounds are one of those things that, like I said, is 40 points for 5 of these guys, 80 points for 10, of course. I kind of feel like they should have come in a box of 10. I don't know why they came in 5 now. That, like, back in the day, they used to be just a thing you would take to accompany a Kroot Carnivore squad. So you'd buy a Kroot Carnivore squad, and then you would add in different extra units, and they would like attach onto that. So you would take 4 or 5 Kroot Hounds, and they would go in with the Carnivore squad. But now that they're sole and by themselves, like I said, 80 points is a great points cost for this extremely fast-moving, extremely small profile unit that can run in and be annoying, hide in buildings, get up the flanks of tables and stuff like that, and threaten or take objectives. So I think I want more of them. I think they should have been in boxes of 10, but 5 is fine. Some people may only want these small breakdown units. If they've got 40 points left in their list, they may throw in a small squad of Kroot Hounds. Each to their own, I guess. Okay, we now have the black and the brown and the green applied. It's now time for a little bit of silver, so some lead belcher is brought in, and there's basically just some kind of metal chains or like armlets around most of their legs. And then they've basically just got a lot of like, those beard beads or whatever, but the quills that go up their back have these little ornamented kind kind of silver bandings and stuff and rings all through them as well. So you're going to spend a couple of seconds going through each of them and putting a quick coat of silver on those particular parts. Not something that's going to take an awful lot of time, but will make the difference. I only noticed when I was setting up my Kill Team Kroot gang, which I painted a good while ago, that I never bothered painting those armored or little jewelry bits in the hounds that came with that squad. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself with that. I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Okay, so we have the model now with basically all the base coats on. So now we're going to jump across and we're going to have Seraphim Sepia, and we're going to shade down this entire awesome Kroot Hound. Give him a little bath. Make sure we get all the ticks and fleas off him. Make him ready for his new home. And as you can see, the Kroot Green shade takes the sepia so well, and once again, it just gives you this beautiful, like, greeny pallid tone, which I think is perfect for starting a Kroot skin tone. And then when I get to the layering stage of it, I'm just going to layer with a single coat of green over the skin. I added some AK Dark Earth diorama paste to the ground of these guys. That is my chosen texture paste whenever I'm doing kind of brown muddiness. And it goes on really well. Gives you a really nice texture. From here, we're going to jump up to Nurgling Green. And this is the kind of last step on the skin tone for me. And this is the step that I was talking about earlier, which can take a little bit of time to paint. As you can see, I'm going in with a fine pointed brush. I'm taking my time and I'm kind of highlighting up the kind of musculature of this beautiful beast. And as you can see, this isn't like sped up footage. This is standard. You can move quite quickly if the brush strokes aren't exactly perfect. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Like we talked about 6 times already in this video, it's 40 points for 5. So these are not the thing you're going to want to spend, you know, dozens and dozens of hours on painting. You want to get them done quickly and efficiently. But if you follow this little technique, like I said, you highlight up those musculature areas. Even when I got across to the main torso bit here, I just did the kind of feathering technique. And I didn't particularly put a lot of effort in because it was kind of starting to give me that, like, a little bit of like almost like a tiger stripe pattern a little bit, which made it look more like fur, a little bit more like natural, more beastly. And I really liked it. So once I got to that stage, I was like, yeah, I'll leave it like that and let's move on to the next muscle group and continue to highlight this beastie. I'd say to highlight all 5 of the Kroot Hounds, I'd say it took less than 10 minutes. So 20 minutes for a squad of 10, and that will be by far the slowest stage. I reckon I could paint 10 Kroot Hounds in less than 2 hours, if even 2 hours. 2 hours including building and spraying maybe. Corvus Black was brought in, and this is just a very quick highlight for those leather straps that are on their forearms. Not a particularly important step, not something that really stands out, and if you forgot to do it, most people wouldn't notice. But I like it to match all the rest of the blacks that have been in my Kroot army so far. Like all of my Kill Team gang have the same kind of colored cloaks, the black ones to hide themselves in the shadows, and they are highlighted the same. So I just wanted that to be the same across the entire force. This is the Kroot Hound with the skin layered. I really like how it looks. Like I said, super simple technique. After the model was sprayed, all it was a shade, and then one single layer. So 2 shade stages took seconds to apply. Catajan flesh was used to add a little bit of life back into those quills. And obviously they have the same kind of quills coming out of their cheek and out of their hind legs. So just make sure you do get a bit of Catajan flesh on those bits as well. Ironbreaker was then brought in to highlight all those basically little silver ringlets and stuff. So they've obviously got a coat of sepia, so they are shaded. So when we go in with the Ironbreaker, we're not going to try and go for a complete coverage. We just want the highest points to get a little bit of color to make them sparkle a little bit. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did forget to paint their eyes in this whole tutorial, like an idiot. I don't know how I did that, but if you want a red or yellow eyes, all you need is a dot of either and paint their eyeballs. I won't be doing anything special with them. These are predator cats, if you will, and their eyes are quite distinctive. They should be easy enough to paint, and I do apologize for missing out on those. It was only when I was setting them up for the photos at the end, literally looking through the camera lens and was like, there's no eyeballs painted on these things. Damn it. So some touches up, and usually I don't show you guys how I do the bases, but I do get asked a lot of questions. So like I said, it was the AK Interactive Dark Earth diorama paste was put on. Then I dry brushed them Ryza Rust People think I'm crazy. Why are you dry brushing your ground rust? It just adds a little bit of warmth into the ground. And if you do look at soil in like jungles or stuff like that, or trench warfare, there is this kind of orangey tinge to it, this kind of warmth that I wanted to mimic. After that, we just get some Ushapti bone and we dry brush that over the top as well. After that, Abaddon Black was used to very quickly rim all of the bases and tidy up those edges. As you can see, I have been painting the 5 guys along the way. I'm not lying to you guys. As you can see, just a simple, quick black coat to tidy up those edges. It really does make a huge difference. I've often talked about if you are stuck in a project or halfway through a model and you're not sure how it's looking, finish basing it and then continue the paint job. It'll basically just tidy up the whole model. It'll change your whole perspective on it. It's really good. After that was dried, I added in some signature grass tufts. Like I said, I want these guys to be going through some jungles and stuff like that. So I decided to use some slightly longer and thicker grass tufts in certain places to make it look like they're kind of prowling through the brush or whatever. I always use a touch of super glue, even though most transfers, the tufts have their own self-adhesion, but I never want them to fall off. So touch of super glue, stick them down, and now we have our 5 strong Kroot Hound hunting pack ready for the tabletop in absolutely no time. This is how they look when they are finished being painted. I think it is a really nice tabletop standard, perfectly acceptable to feel a Kroot army that looks like this, or Kroot Hounds that look like this on the table. I'd love to know what you guys think, and I would definitely love to know if there's any other Kroot videos that you want to see on the channel in the near future, and let me get stuck into that. This was just a little video for fun, what Kroot Hounds are for, sneaking up behind this poor guy on the phone, and he's about to have a very bad day. Okay guys, and there we have it, 5 Kroot Hounds painted in, I'd say, less than an hour's worth of brush time for all 5 of them. Absolutely beautiful models, really fun to do. I think I'm going to get another 3 boxes. I think 20, 2 squads of 10 is the bare minimum that I'm going to include in my army. Let me know what you guys think of this particular paint job in the comments below. Ask me any questions you want down there as well, and also let me know if there's anything else from the Kroot range that you want to see painted on the channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all future updates, and yeah. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I will see you in the next video.